So why is it when the weather turns crummy, your body starts to feel crummy? When the rain starts to fall, you feel like you are starting to fall apart all over again. Ugh. And if you're watching the video, yes, I am coming to you today after having been out in the rain, and yes, my hair is wet. I apologize. But why is it that this happens? We always hear about, oh, old great Aunt Mabel could always tell you that a storm was coming because she could feel it in her bones. And at a certain point in life, you realize, dang it, she was right. Because when the weather turns south and the rain and the storms come in, that is when those old aches and pains that you thought you had a handle on start to flare up again. Maybe that headache starts to come up again and it just won't go away no matter how many things you throw at it. Why is it that this comes up? If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky, gentle chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a Reiki healer and a mind-body coach. I'm here to help you and your fur babies be your very best so that you can go out and live life unleashed. Enjoy everything that life has to offer you without feeling like there's anything holding you back. Because for a lot of us, what we feel like is holding us back is our own freaking bodies. Here to help you break through that and get to the life you really want to be living. So, why is it when the weather turns south, our bodies start to fall apart? A lot of it has to do with barometric pressure, actually. So, our bodies are mostly made of water, wet, squishy stuff. And when that barometric pressure starts to drop, that affects that fluid system in our bodies and can actually increase our levels of inflammation. And I'll let you in on a secret. Most of us in modern Western society, we are constantly living just under the threshold of noticeable inflammation, of symptomatic inflammation. If inflammation is a bucket full of water, most of us are going just about 2 tablespoons under that bucket overflowing. It's not quite enough to notice that the bucket is overflowing, that there's too much in there, that there's too much inflammation going on. It's just under that threshold, but it does not take much to tip it over the edge and spill out that inflammation into the whole system, and now we've got a challenge. Now things are hurting that we thought we had a handle on, because we knew that the bucket was overflowing in the past when we had these aches and pains before, and we did some measures and some tactics to take down that inflammation. Maybe we took a couple of ladles out of the bucket, but we didn't empty the bucket. Most of us very rarely get that bucket empty. So when that barometric pressure drops, our bodies feel it. That's the kick it needs to flare up all that baseline inflammation that's going on. And by the way, if you'd like assistance with getting a better handle on that bucket of inflammation and getting it even lower so that a little thing like a barometric pressure dropping doesn't set it off into overflow and overwhelm, reach out to me and let's see if I'm a good fit to help you with that. 636-751-3150. Leave me a voicemail or a text message or hit up my website at completewellnesscc.com. Now, there is a second component to all of this. It's not just the baseline inflammation and the barometric pressure rolling through and dropping that's going to set everything off. There is a mental component as well. Because where the mind goes, the body follows. Where the body goes, the mind follows. And our very powerful subconscious minds will only show us more of what we're focusing on. It's like a flashlight. Your flashlight will not show you what is behind you. It will only show you what you're shining it on. So if you're focusing on how absolutely crummy it is outside, how you feel like you're falling apart, and things aren't working and old challenges are coming back, guess what? Your very powerful mind is going to go, okay, my job is to make you right so that we can survive, because in prehistoric times, if you were wrong, you got eaten. So to make you right, I'm going to point out everything that exists in your environment right now to back up what you just said. And it does this all of the time. This is the background operating system of the computer that is our brain. So if you have said that you're going to focus on how dreary and gross and crummy it is outside, and how dreary and gross and crummy you feel inside, your powerful subconscious mind is going to point out to you everything in your environment to back up more of that, to show you more of how things are crummy and how things are falling apart and how old challenges are flaring back up in the world at large and in your world. Oof. And when you start focusing on those sorts of things, the body's instinct is to withdraw, to curl in as a defense mechanism. Because in prehistoric times, which is what our subconscious mind is operating off of, if it was dreary and gross outside and it felt like things were falling from the sky, we curled in, we withdrew into our caves or whatever little shelter we had made so that we could survive to the next day. But in modern times, our bodies still have that response. We still physically curl in and withdraw when we feel like things are falling down, when we feel like things are falling apart, inside and outside, literally and figuratively. Mind and body, we're going to curl in as a subconscious defense mechanism. And when you are curled in and holding tight and withdrawing physically, that is setting off all of your muscles and joints to be extra tense, extra tight, knotted up, which often sets off all of these muscles from your shoulder up to your neck. And you get a lot of crazy trigger points up there, a lot of aches and pains. It can yank your ribs off track out of their joints' proper alignment. So now you've got this sharp stabbing rib pain, usually around your shoulder blades, and it feels a whole whooping lot worse if you cough or sneeze. Let me tell you, I've been there. Oof. And all of these muscles up in your shoulders and your neck also influence the muscle tone around your cranium, your skull, your noggin. And when those neck and shoulder muscles get too tight and too tense for too long, that can kick off a headache as well. So now we've got aches and pains from the barometric pressure dropping and our inflammation rising, and we've got aches and pains on top of all of that because our physical body is withdrawing. So what can you do to help start to counteract that cycle, that mind-body cycle? Start to expand your focus to what you really want to see more of. Because the universe operates under laws that are true no matter what you believe, no matter what you're spiritual, religious, any kind of that. These are true across the board. And one of those is the law of polarity, which means everything has both sides to it at the same time and in the same space. A coin always has a heads and a tails at the same time. If there is a front side to something, there is also a back side to something. If there is an inside, there is an outside. And if there is a side that is crummy and awful and things are falling apart, at the same time, there will be something somewhere in your reality that is doing well and thriving and growing and progressing. You just gotta find it. And it can be the littlest thing, but you have to train yourself to start to focus on what it is you want to see more of. Because there's more of it in your environment. Your subconscious mind is just programmed to notice all of the negative things that could be a threat to your survival and point those out so much faster. And once you start noticing it, it'll point out more. So it takes some effort to start focusing instead on finding and discovering all of the things that back up what you want to be experiencing instead. And as you get better at that and more practiced at focusing on what it is that you really want and surrounding your life with more of that, your subconscious mind will start to find more to point out to you because it's already in your environment. You're just not seeing it yet. That'll help on the mental, and where the mind goes, the body will follow. Where the body goes, the mind will follow. So start expanding your body, doing something like light yoga where you're going to open up and expand. Dancing in your kitchen in your slippers if you have to. Opening up to embrace a loved one. Start to expand your body. It is okay to take up space, even if you're feeling like crap. It is okay to open up and embrace the good that life has for you. So, on this rainy Tuesday, go out and find the light in your life so your mind can show you more of it. Bye now.